Hello, people. Welcome to the first episode of what I hope to be a long series of Ian TV playing City Skylines. So today we're playing on the Eden Valley map. I'm not too terribly creative with city names, so I just called this city after the map, Eden Valley. And I like this one because it has a really good mix of resources. It has all the outside connections. It has road, rail. You can see the ocean off in the distance there. It has air connections. It has everything. It has a bunch of forests, some stone, or ore, I suppose. A lot of farmland off over here. Some oil off in the distance. Nope, that's more ore. There's oil up there. All that lighter brown stuff up there is oil sands, I suppose. So, when I choose a map, I like to try and have some kind of plan in my head about how I want this map to go. So, what I'm hoping for with this one, this main highway here is essentially going to stay there, and it has its little other highway teeing off over here. But this one, my first connection here, eventually I don't want that to be another highway. I'm hoping to have either a 6-lane road or two one-direction 6-lane roads, turning this connection into a ring road that goes all the way around. Goes over the highway up in the corner here, and then down over this one, around the mountain, and back again. And have most of my city contained inside that ring road. Like, it's going to go up to the ocean front there, and there's going to be ports and whatnot, high-end housing, businesses, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's my plan. So I want a big ring road going around it. And when I play, I also like using this map because of its theme. It's the temperate theme. I tend to play on the boreal or the temperate themed maps because if you look at the trees here, there are the nice big bushy trees. It also has this little patch of dirt around the bottom. That little patch of dirt is way less pronounced on the boreal maps, but I find the temperate maps look better for the trees and whatnot. If I'm playing on a tropical map, these trees would be palm trees, and it wouldn't really cover the dirt patch under the trees. And when you get a field of these trees, you can kind of see it here, but when you get a big field of these trees, if they were palm trees, that little patch of dirt with a little trunk sticking out of it, to me it looks like, oh god, it looks like looking at someone's head after they've had hair transplant. It just looks weird to me. Personally, I think the tropical maps have the nicest map layouts. I just don't like the actual theme itself. I find it looks kind of weird. Maybe one day I'll play on a tropical map, but for this one, I chose temperate theme. And the other theme is winter or European. I've never played on a winter map. Maybe I'll do a playthrough of that. As for European, like, I myself am based out of North America, in Calgary, Canada, actually. And I've never been to a European city, so I wouldn't understand how a European city would be laid out. It would probably look weird if I did it. But, well, maybe like tropical and winter, maybe one day I'll play a European map. But not today. So, right off the bat, what I like to do, I just connect these two highway ends, just like that. And it opens up a couple road options here. Well, before I start with roads, I should probably say there are a few mods in this playthrough. I like playing with some of them. I don't care for the ones that are more or less cheats. I don't like the infinite money one, just because it takes any kind of challenge out of the game. I don't like that. I have a few ones here that I find enhances the game, like traffic manager, intersection marking tool, move it, find road tool, find road anarchy. The one that I find enhances the game the most, for me, is the no radioactive desert. Because in this game, when you've polluted the land, it turns the grass and the trees to an ugly purple color. And I don't think it's realistic. I like making my cities look as realistic as I can within the confines of the game. So having an industrial zone and just everything around it turning purple, I think it looks terrible. So I have a mod that disables that. Everything stays green, trees still live. Yeah, I find it enhances it. So anyways, onto the game. Let's start building a road. So now that I've connected these two ends of highway here, I'll take the dirt road. I always start my cities off building, well, the gravel road. So let's start with the gravel road. And you'll see when you build a road, it has these lines. And it's every 10 squares, you'll have another line. And it'll snap to the line. And, well, it just helps with road design. So we're going to place that there. And we're going to go from this highway with the one direction 2-lane road, and this one to the other highway with the one direction 2-lane road. And then we'll delete this middle part because we don't really need that. So now whoever comes into our city has to go down the road, and they have to go out the other way. So we're just gonna build this dirt road a little bit longer. Another 20 blocks out. And then I'm gonna turn it just slightly, probably about there. I'm gonna build it another 30 blocks. Let's make it 40. 40 blocks over. And then just try and connect. Oh no, that's ugly. We don't want that. Just try and connect them the best I can. You know what? That isn't quite what I was going for. So I'm gonna make this one a little bit closer, just so we can have a nice bend in the road. Here we go. And from here, I mostly just start with a basic grid system for the roads. And keep in mind, this dirt road is eventually going to be part of a ring road system. I'm probably going to come down this way, follow this road here, and come all the way along. But I'm not really going to change much of that. Once the road is in place, it's going to stay in place. This one might turn into something else, but I might just turn the ring road into that. Maybe I'll come across here and go all the way down the farm and back up. Have no idea yet. So, well, I'm just going to start with a basic grid. I'm not going to build it I'm not going to start building my city too close to this road, because eventually I am going to turn it into something else. And I don't want to have to demolish too many things to make that happen. So I'm going to start it over here. So we're going to come down another 10. We're going to make it closer to the river. Because I'm going to want a nice road going along the riverfront here eventually, but I want to turn all of this, like from the road to the riverbanks. I'm going to make it a park area. So I'm going to start building up. And this road here, this is eventually going to become probably a 4-lane road. And when you do that, the 4-lane road, it'll take up an extra 1 block on either side. So if you want to get full density right off the bat, like I could do this, and then I could build over 10 blocks, and you'll see the little blue blocks there. It shows you where your buildings are going to be. But I build up 11 blocks and then come over, something like that. It has this little strip of nothing in there. And that's on purpose, because when I turn this road into a 4-lane road or bigger, it's going to expand 1 over, and it's going to take up that blank space there, which is exactly what I want. So I'm just going to keep building up. I'm going to make a very basic grid system. Actually, I'm going to, yeah, I think that's what I want. So we're going to come out this way. Come out this way, actually. Right there. Right there. Another road. Another road. So see right there, we have full density in between these roads. And I'm going to leave that more or less like that. I like building grids. I like building geometric shapes to my neighborhoods. I'm not the biggest fan of how some North American subdivisions look, where they're just twisty roads all over the place. I find in the confines of this game it can get kind of overwhelming. It looks a little bit too much. So for now, I'm going to start off with the grid. So we got that, and over here, I'm going to start building a small space for industry. You'll see we have a little bit of a mountain here, and I'm going to stay away from that. I don't like putting roads right over hills and stuff. I like curving around the hills. I find it looks more natural and more visually appealing. I'm just going to build some basic grids here. I'm just going to build something kind of like this. And my plan for this area, I'm eventually going to, when it comes time to connect it, I think I'm going to come off of here. Actually, we're just going to do that right now. I'm going to come over 2, up 2. Got to make sure we're away from the hill. There. We're going to make it the middle road is going to be the one that connects up with this. Get it so we have a nice gentle curve connecting the two zones. I think that looks pretty darn nice.